Kevin Bacon disguised himself as a regular sucky, not famous person and decided our sucky lives suck.
McDonald is renaming the Happy Meal just the meal, and I don't really know how to feel about that.
While shoe shopping in France, Elton John couldn't make it to the John.
And the 2025 project, what is it? Why is it so important that we don't even need to talk about anything about Biden's health or anything? Just shut up about Biden.
Baby, are you down? We are. This is the Talk Down.
Hi, I'm Adam Yenser, and I was once almost arrested for dumpster diving.
I'm Ethan Nicolle, and I was once with Lisa Simpson when the news came out that Disney bought Fox.
Oh, with the animated character.
Yeah, well, you know the voice.
Yeah.
I'll explain it in the subscription portion where we will tell our riveting true stories of our lives.
Our tales of ribaldry.
Yeah, like we get criticized sometimes by the girls that listen to the show, the females.
Wait,
they're like,
you do?
And they're like, you guys aren't like don't talk about your feelings enough or whatever or something. I don't know, like too much fart jokes or something. I don't.
Oh.
It's literally only like one comment, but you know, like one comment will stick with you.
They think we should talk about our feelings more.
But then I'm just like, go the subscriber portion that we used to talk about.
We open up. And
we really open up.
We were like a bunch of ladies in the
yeah. We get out the tissues,
talking about our feelings, and you know, we're not so much looking for solutions. We just want someone to listen.
Exactly. Just
that's what I always say.
Well, this very special episode, we're going to trigger some libs, so subscribe if you want to support free speech.
We're trying the old conservative
Save America.
in.
Want to save America.
Hashtag
support this show.
Follow us.
Go to talkdown.com.
Cancel culture.
Fight cancel culture with an iron fist.
Free speech, yeah. The only way you can do it is to like and subscribe.
And give us money.
Yeah.
So how's your week? Let's catch down.
Yeah, let's catch down, see how our week's going. I had a pretty good week. I started learning to play the didgeridoo.
You started learning?
That Australian instrument?
It takes like 5 minutes.
Well, why? Do you play one?
I bought one in Australia.
Uh-huh.
The guy showed me how.
Yeah.
And I got it down,
but
but
you good at it?
It makes my nose vibrate so much I can't handle it. It makes me.
It's a different attitude than a minute ago when you scoffed and said, "Oh, it's easier to not do it."
It just vibrates your nose. I hate the way it vibrates my nose.
Maybe I'll get good enough at it that I won't care that it vibrates my nose.
But I mean, it just goes, and then every once in a while you go.
I never heard that part.
You never heard that?
No, those are the. What? I don't think that. I think you were playing the didgeridoo, and then there was some Australian, animals cackling. That's a kookaburra screeching in the background.
What else can you do? There's not notes.
There's not notes, but there are different tones and different like.
I mean, I'm excited for you to get into an instrument.
But this is why I'm doing it. So I was diagnosed with sleep apnea last year.
Oh.
Where you like stop breathing in your sleep.
Okay.
And so I have like the mask that you have to wear, and I asked my sleep doctor. I was
like a prescription?
What? It's like a mask. Like
the didgeridoo is a prescribed. Like you went to CVS.
Yes, I didn't go to CVS, but I was asking my sleep doctor because there's all these different. You can get like mouth guards. You can get the mask, and if you get some people get sleep apnea from being fat, but obviously I'm in great shape, so it's just, nobody knows why I have it. But no, I asked if there's anything naturally that you can do to cure sleep apnea, and this is a real thing. He said. The only thing that's been proven to cure sleep apnea is learning to play the didgeridoo. The's something about the way...
Was he like an Aboriginal Australian?
No, he's just like a regular Armenian guy.
Okay.
But there's something the way it works.
Sponsored by the Didgeridoo Fund.
And your cheeks and your lips and your...
So weird.
Like breathing.
I don't believe it.
And I was like, that sounds kind of like hokey. And I went home and I looked it up online, and there's serious medical research that it can... So... This was my first week trying
and then a rain stick next to your bed.
Yes, exactly.
Rain stick and then some bongos.
Yeah. And then I have restless leg syndrome, and the only cure for that is rain dancing. I'm kidding. I don't have that even. But no, so I got this didgeridoo, and there's a program that actually teaches you how to play it like with focus on
You're supposed to learn like a guy in the street.
Focus on exercises that help like with sleep disorders. Well, so I'm curious. Now it's really fun the first like 2 or 3 days that I've tried it. I may get bored and give up on it. You may ask me like 2 months from now, hey, how's that didgeridoo? I'll be like, I don't do that anymore.
So what do you?
But I may get into it.
Do you play along with like your favorite songs, like you do like didgeridoo to like Katy Perry. Or
Yeah, I play a lot of corn on the didgeridoo.
I could imagine like Kid Rock doing like bow what the ball what the.
I don't know if you know what a didgeridoo. It's more just like a droning tone, you know that.
Well, yeah, it's like a do one thing.
Yeah.
It's like like when you hear like a washing machine, it's just going brr, 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 like you think it kind of sounds like a distant metal song.
I think it sounds neat. I don't think it sounds like a washing machine and a cackling, screeching animal. Like
no, you have to add that. They add that to make it do something else because it's one note, right?
It's one note, but you can make vocal tones, and if you move
that's what you do. And then
you move your cheeks, and if you vibrate your lips different ways, it never does that.
No, look it up.
Not one of
look
the noises.
It up. Well, my week, I've mentioned that I have a dog that hacks really bad.
Oh, really?
I slightly sort of started mentioning last week. I kind of got talked over, but I'm okay. I'm not emotionally upset about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have two dogs, one that I love and one that I can't stand.
You brought that up before.
Yeah, and the one that I can't stand is because my kids basically just got to pick it out without any jurisprudence. I don't know what that word means, but without any, consideration for like, we will be with this dog forever. Like, how stupid is it?
Yeah.
How great of a dog is it? You know?
Was it a puppy or did you get it when it was already?
No, it was grown up.
Oh, okay. It was already too old.
It was like 1 year old.
Like you can't change anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I've never liked it. And then it developed this hacking noise it does, which apparently is like not a disease. It's just like part of its like breed, which it's a mix. But like we met someone else with a dog that looked like it also does. It's just like,
Wait, that sound? You know what gets rid of that? If you teach your dog to play the didgeridoo.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
This dog's too stupid. It couldn't figure it out. And it probably
I thought it was easy and anyone could do
make
it.
its nose itch too much. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I just love an instrument that basically it could be a piece of plumbing pipe. Like it's
you can pretty much do it with any piece of pipe. Yeah. But no, your hacking dog.
Anyway, the hacking dog.
I've
just been dealing with it. Like it's gotten worse lately. Like we had it for years and years, and it made this hack sound now. But like the last few months, it just is doing it so much. It's driving everybody crazy. Everybody crazy. And my wife did take it to the vet, and the vet was like, "Well, there's some medicine. We think it'll help. We'd feel bad to put it down. It's not really. It's just got a hack." And I'm like all ready to go Christy Noem on this dog, but it's that medicine's not helping much.
No.
And it hangs out like it'll like hide under the bed and it won't come out. You're trying to sleep and it's just under the bed like. Matt knows. Matt watched this dog for us, and I remember his wife was scared.
Is it constantly hacking?
It's probably like it's gotten up to where it's like 5 or 6 times an hour now.
Oh wow,
it's a lot.
And it really is loud. Like you hear.
Yeah,
the whole house.
It's loud, and it always ends with like.
Oh.
And sometimes it like barfs a little bit.
Oh.
It's really
it ended with a hacky joke. It goes, "I'll take my wife, please."
It's too dumb even for a good hacky joke. Yep. Well, speaking of hacky jokes, you want to talk down
the week's top news?
Let's talk
Our
it down.
top story: Kevin Bacon dons elaborate disguise to experience life as a non-famous person. Concludes this sucks.
Who's that again?
Kevin Bacon. He's the star of Tremors.
I want to act like he's not famous, like to be a jerk.
The thing is, he isn't. He's famous. He's definitely like everybody knows who he is. But
Right.
I don't know that I would say he's like top level A-list.
Yeah, like there's got to be towns you can walk around in and not be noticed.
And a lot of celebrities, I feel like if their hair's not styled and just kind of walk around looking like a schlub, I don't know that how often they get recognized. But Kevin Bacon recently experienced life as a non-famous person, donning an elaborate disguise to see what life would be like if he weren't recognizable to the public. In an interview with Vanity Fair, the actor said he soon concluded, "This sucks. I'm not complaining, but I have a face that's pretty recognizable. Putting my hat and glasses on is only going to work to a certain extent," Bacon said. "So I went to a special effects makeup artist, had consultations, and asked him to make me a prosthetic disguise." He really is taking this seriously.
I didn't find pictures.
I didn't see any pictures of him in the disguise. He probably wants to keep his alter
Yeah, that's
ego
true. Yeah, you don't want to live out there.
He was outfitted with fake teeth, a slightly different nose, and glasses, and then went to the outdoor Los Angeles shopping mall, The Grove. "Nobody recognized me," Bacon said, but the tide evidently soon turned. People were kind of pushing past me, not being nice. Nobody said I love you. I had to wait in line to, I don't know, buy an effing coffee or whatever. I was like, this sucks. I want to go back to being famous. So he wanted to be able to push in front of other people. And he was sad that he doesn't realize that when normals walk around, people don't just shout, I love you at you all the time.
And you
That's
have to
what
wait
he
in
needs
line.
every single day. Yeah.
I hung out with the Fawns at the Grove one time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Like,
And
hung out
people
with him
didn't
or
bug
just
him that
saw
much. I was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'll save that for another time.
Okay.
We're dropping too many names in this episode.
All right. That's what we do here. That's how we talk down to people.
Yeah, talking down, telling her.
But so not about other famous people, but like when I was on the Ellen Show, I got recognized once or twice in public from the B podcast or other stuff
Really?
you've done. Have you ever been recognized?
Yeah,
out in
really
public?
briefly. Like I was like in a cigar humidor in Tennessee one time. This guy's like, "Hey, I watched you on the Babylon Bee."
Oh yeah.
And then another time, like I was at a super huge rush. Oh, we were like going to the Babylon Bee Christmas party when I was still working for the Bee, and I had forgotten something. I was like, oh, we realized it was like I needed to buy some item of clothing that I'd forgotten or something for this event. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a belt or something. For some reason, right before we got to the Bee event, I ran in, and it was actually the first time I'd ever been recognized from the Bee podcast.
Oh really?
The guy in the dressing room area all of a sudden wanted to talk to me. And I was like, I need to get going. But he was like in there getting ready to change.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where his clothes off?
No, he's totally clothed.
Oh, I thought he was naked.
No,
Hey,
he's not.
come into this changing room and talk to me, guy from.
I can't remember.
I recognize
from
from the podcast.
It was strangely awkward. I can't remember exactly. I just remember I was in a rush, and then it was like the first time I'd ever been recognized from the Bee.
I have told, there's a story that I tell in my stand-up a lot. This happened years ago, but when I was doing Kevin the Cashier on the Ellen Show, I was doing a stand-up show in Chicago at this comedy club, and then there was a bar next door, and I went to the bar afterwards, and this girl comes up to me, and she goes, excuse me, I've seen you from somewhere. Are you on the Ellen Show? And I said, yeah. And she got all excited. She's, oh my gosh, I love that show. I love your segments. Can I get a picture with you? And I said, sure. And she took out her phone. This was like years ago when phones had like limited memory.
Right.
And I tried to get a selfie of us, and it said memory full. And I said, oh, your memory is full. You'll have to delete a picture. And she starts scrolling through her pictures, and she goes, nah. And then,
ouch.
And so that's the part that I tell in the stand-up story.
Yeah.
Now, eventually she came back like later with a friend's phone and still got a picture. And then the only other time I'm skeptical about this one, there's a Mexican restaurant in LA, and a few years ago I was there on a first date with this girl, and it just so happened that our head writer from the Ellen Show, my friend Kevin, was there at the restaurant that night also. Oh. And he saw us walk in and said hi to us. And I said, oh yeah, I'm here on a date, introduced the girl. And then we went and sat down. And then while I'm sitting there, this like 8-year-old kid and his like 10-year-old sister walk over. And they're like, excuse me, are you Adam from the Ellen Show? Can we get your autographs? And I'm like, Kevin put you up to this, didn't he? And they said, no. And the kids swore that he didn't put them up to it. Huh. But I think Kevin probably gave them money because he knew I was on a date to have these kids come over and ask for my autograph.
Yeah, I had a similar-ish story where me and my wife were on our second date ever, and we went to this art. Did I tell you the story on this show or not? We were at like an art gallery. Oh, I told you at the art gallery. I think we're hanging out over there. Maybe.
Yeah.
Was that you?
That wasn't me.
Oh crap!
I didn't know you've been to an art gallery.
This art gallery in Claremont.
I
have this memory of you hanging out with you in Claremont, but I don't think we ever did hang out in Claremont.
Yeah, we walked around that mall.
Yeah, it's in that mall.
And it's that art gallery upstairs. So you told me there when we were there at that art gallery.
So like this guy comes up behind us, the guy that's working there while we're making fun of all the art, and then he goes, hey, are you the guy that makes Bearmageddon? Like of all the things I'm known for, I make a comic called Bearmageddon. This is before I made my bear book and all that, and those memes and stuff. And he knew Axe Cop too, but like it was like, yeah. But this story about Kevin Bacon disguising himself reminded me of when I was at Comic-Con. I was a huge fan of Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks, and I had become friends with those guys through Axe Cop. They liked Axe Cop. They let me into their panel. I didn't have to wait in the long line or anything. And when I'm sitting down, Axe Cop sits in front of me, a girl dressed as Axe Cop. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I'm like, hey, can I get a picture with you? So we take a picture together, and I don't tell her who I am. I thought, maybe it'd be funny if one day she like finds out or something. I don't know. It's my picture. I don't know how she's going to do that, but and then later in the panel, they call up. We go.
You just keep sending it to her, and you're like, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah. The guys on the panel go, Now, famous actress Deborah Ann Wall from True Blood, and I don't know if Daredevil was out yet or not, probably not, but she comes up on the stage and takes off the mask. So basically her disguise to hide herself from the public was Axe Cop, my character. Awesome. So she didn't know that she just met the creator of Axe Cop, and I didn't know. I just thought she was some girl. Anyway, that's that story.
Nice.
Well, Kevin Bacon may not have been happy not being famous. Did I say that right? Yeah. Kevin Bacon may not have been happy not being famous, but McDonald's would say that's just fine. McDonald's rebrands Happy Meal as just the meal for Mental Health Awareness Week. Okay. McDonald's is rebranding its infamous Happy Meal as just the meal for Mental Health Awareness Week in the United Kingdom. It's like the meal. Removing the smile from the box to encourage conversation about children's emotions. The fast food chain shared a commercial on its UK YouTube page featuring children expressing their feelings and sharing how their emotions can be complicated. They're not always happy. As one child explains about being different types of emotions, the girls next to her describe it as a mood salad.
That's probably the only time the word salad has ever been used in a McDonald's commercial.
McDonald's wants to spread the message that it is fine to not feel happy all the time. As one boy says in the commercial, we should never be ashamed of being sad or crying. I love the idea of having just different meals for all the different emotions.
And I don't know that McDonald's would want to discourage that, because I feel like being ashamed and sad and crying is why that's why you go to McDonald's.
The crippling anxiety meal.
I also like that McDonald's is pretending to care about kids' health.
Right.
Like, we got to take care of their mental health as we feed them quarter pounders and chicken nuggets and French fries and milkshakes and sodas.
The regretty meal.
Yeah.
Instead of the yellow smile, the box contains stickers of all different types of mouths. A confused squiggle, a slanted line, a slight frown, and even the traditional smile, along with one that's binging and purging. I added that. Maybe one with like lips trembling. I don't know.
I'm not following why a Happy Meal is offensive to people with mental health issues.
It's like, it's okay to not just
why
be
is
happy.
The box happy and I'm
Isn't
not?
Happiness like a... I think that's the thing. I think
with mental health issues can still be happy at times.
Or even... Is it so bad to have it as a goal or an ideal? I think that's the thing that a lot of cultures like trying to fight against.
Or I would be sad. I would be, if I had mental health issues, I was depressed and I went to McDonald's, like, oh, I came here to cheer up, and no, not even the box is happy. We're all just in this sad world together.
It's sad because it saw you and you're
not even a Happy Meal anymore.
The National Alliance on Mental Illness recognizes not only the week, but dedicates the month of May to mental health awareness. So that's why they're doing this. I feel like... I just don't know if I want McDonald's, and like Disney's doing too, like Inside Out. And I know Inside Out's fun and stuff, but like getting involved in child psychology, like I just want them to be fun escapes. I don't know if that, I don't know, maybe I'm a naysayer in that area,
you need to talk about your feelings more. You need to watch In and Out and understand all the emotions.
It's not In and Out. Did I say that? No.
Inside Out, right?
Inside Out, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, did I say In and Out?
I think you did. Did you?
No, I was thinking Inside Out. I was thinking
In and
Inside Out.
In and Out. Inside Out. Whatever. Who cares? McDonald's. Burgers and feelings. Well, I happen to be in the mood to move on to this next story. Speaking of moods. Scientists recreated the voice of a 3,000-year-old Egyptian mummy using a 3D printer. Now, Adam pointed out to me that this is not a new story, but this story is new, but it's of an old story.
Yeah, this story is almost as old as the Egyptian mummy itself.
The New York Times reported archaeologists have resurrected the voice of an Egyptian priest named Nesayamon. When he died, his gift of melody was immortalized on his coffin with an inscription that read, Nesayamon, true of voice. According to a study recently published in Scientific Reports, a team of researchers in England detailed their amazing efforts to reconstruct his voice after 3 millennia. Their goal is to basically recreate the vocal tract, and luckily the priest's mummification had kept his throat pretty well intact. So they used a CT scanner, a 3D image of the inside of his throat, then printed out using a 3D printer. And after all that work, we now have the sound of what this mummy guy, priest, singer sounds like. So can we hear it? I feel like I've heard that noise like on a like an old Nintendo game, like a skater die when you like crack your head open.
It sounds like somebody gives you disappointing news and you just go,
It sounds so sad.
yeah.
But I guess that's like just his voice without any inflections, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like a really
It's a didgeridoo.
pansy didgeridoo. You beat me to it. Anyway, that's the audio clip. Anticlimactic, sure, but I guess it's really exciting to recreate a voice from 3,000 years ago. I guess I don't know. Yeah. According to archaeologists who have examined Nyasamun's mummy up close, the ancient priest likely died in his 50s. They think. The cause of death they originally thought maybe it was strangulation, but was later suggested to be from an allergic reaction, possibly from an insect sting on his tongue. So that might be explain why the mummy's tongue was sticking out. And so I think maybe the last sound they recorded was the sound of him being stung on the stung on the tongue by a bee. That's hard to say. Stung on the bung by a tongue. Stung on the tongue by a bee.
Also, why did they? If you want to recreate, I know it said he was a true of voice.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to recreate someone's like voice from the past, why did they pick someone whose neck was strangled and mouth was deformed by a bug bite?
Apparently, it wasn't good. Maybe because his tongue was sticking out, and it kept it in good.
His tongue and his mouth were swollen. I wish it said I wish when they blew the air through it and made it talk, it said outdated, old timey things. It says racist stuff. Or it says,
Super
it says
racist.
there are only two genders.
Like 10 levels more racist than we ever heard before. He kind of slightly sounds like Aaron Neville.
Yeah.
Like that.
A little bit.
Anyway, with the mystery of the voice of the priest, Nyasamun solved. Let's move on to another mystery. Chipotle portions. A Wells Fargo analyst ordered the same Chipotle burrito 75 times and then found a way to make it into a news story. Found the portion problem is real. Chipotle executives have sworn up and down that the restaurant chain doesn't have a portion problem, but an analysis by Wells Fargo begs to differ. So did Wells Fargo actually make this happen?
I don't understand how Wells Fargo.
Yeah, I don't know if the guy just works there or they're a bank.
Was he just on his break and decided?
Yeah, that's right. I can't.
Chipotle for 75 days straight.
We should know this. To finally put the weight debate to rest, Wells Fargo analyst Zachary Fatum and his team, okay, he's got a team, bought and weighed 75 burrito bowls. Are they just doing this at lunchtime? They wrote in a note this week, and the analyst studied burrito bowls at 8 different Chipotle locations in New York City. Throughout the study, the analysts found that the bowls' weights were wildly inconsistent. For in-person orders, the heaviest bowl weighed 47% more than the lightest. The weight varied even more for digital orders, with the heaviest bowl weighing 87% more than the lightest bowl. The smallest burrito bowl weighed just a little more than the average can of soda. The analysis comes as Chipotle has been criticized on social media for doling out supposedly smaller portion sizes.
What?
A rumor which Chipotle denied, later emerging that the chain.
That whole thing sounds insane to me. When I heard people were saying Chipotle, their portions are too small.
Right.
My problem at Chipotle has always been they stuff that thing until it's like a balloon.
Yeah, it looks like a full
maybe
diaper.
it is inconsistent, but that every Chipotle I've ever gone to, I like a burrito, but they make it that it's almost too big. They stuff it so full.
They're talking about burrito bowls. If you're a burrito bowl, I guess get a burrito.
I've had the bowl before.
Okay.
But I get the burrito more often. I've had the bowls too. But when they get a burrito, I'll be like easy on the rice, and they're just like, bleh.
Yeah, I'm easy on the beans.
And then they can barely. It's like like when you're trying to I don't know, do you ever fold a tent?
Swaddle a baby.
And, you're just trying to wrap it up. It's just
yeah. So anyway, the CEO, Brian Nicolle, not Nicole like me, Nicolle, told Fortune magazine that portion sizes had not gotten smaller, but he added that customers could give employees a look to bulk up their burritos. I want to know exactly what the look is you give.
There's a nod that you give.
like a little, The Rock eyebrow raise or something. Although the varying bowl sizes may have looked bad for the chain, Chipotle's chief corporate affairs officer, Lori Shallow, said the variability was totally normal because of how the restaurant customizes its orders.
Hey.
I don't know if that's totally true because they're saying that they ordered the same one 75 times. It's not
like
custom.
And I think we must be
Unless
wrong
you're saying
about
it's custom
I
because
think
we
we
made it
must
different.
be. I think Wells Fargo must do some stuff that we weren't aware of because they say they have this analyst. It sounds like this was part of their job at Wells Fargo to weigh these.
Yeah, I'm really
burritos.
confused. Are they
thought it
spending
was
my
just-
money on this? I
yeah.
don't know how banks work.
I knew a guy that used to work at Wells Fargo in San Francisco, and I don't think he ever worked with burrito. He wasn't in their burrito department.
Like, did they do this on their lunch breaks?
I don't know.
Like every day? Like, hey, let's work on the
Seems like it.
analysis.
Yeah. Well, what better way to follow up a Chipotle story than with a story about having to go to the bathroom?
Absolutely.
Elton John allegedly peed in a bottle while shopping for shoes in France. Elton John couldn't hold it while shopping for sneakers in France this week and ended up peeing in a plastic bottle in the middle of a store, according to the guy who runs the shop. Ryan Sukar, owner of Sugar Kicks in Nice, says Elton came into his shop Monday afternoon with his 2 sons and a bodyguard and asked if there was a public restroom. When Elton was told there was no toilet, the singer turned to his security guard and asked for a bottle, then took a few steps away from other shoppers and began taking a leak in the receptacle.
I actually have so much respect for that move.
When they asked if one of the other shoppers had seen anything, they just said, "Oui, oui, oui, oui." Man, Elton reportedly has poor aim as he got some pee on the floor and asked his security guard for a towel to clean up the mess. It's disgusting.
Poor aim. It's not poor aim. Have you ever tried peeing in a bottle?
Not in a long. I don't know if I have or
They're
not.
aim shaming.
Maybe on a road trip once. I don't know.
No, that's
I just-
peeing in a bottle. You got to adjust, and you're not going to make it all in.
Yeah, it's sad this is happening in France, though. At least here in America, gay men go to the ladies' room before exposing themselves. The shop owner says he was shocked and frustrated a customer would take a tinkle like that.
Right.
And this was a first in his 3 years running the business. He says he had no idea who the man was when this was all going down. And when he asked Elton what he did for a living, the singer simply responded, "I'm Elton John." In the end, Elton bought 2 pairs of sneakers for his sons, snapped a picture for the store, and shook hands with Ryan before leaving. So he peed in the bottle and then shook hands with the
Nice.
store owner who saw him pee in the bottle.
It's just pee.
Yeah.
Sterile.
Very few people know this.
I've
but
had it in my ears.
Elton calls his... Yeah.
Go back to what episode? I don't know.
Probably episode 2.
1 or 2
think it
where
was
I tell
2.
the story. You
Yeah.
have to be a subscriber to get the full story.
Yeah.
Then.
You know Elton John calls his private parts Benny and the Jets?
Benny and the Jets.
Yeah, and he earned the nickname Rocket Man by taking his rocket out in public stores. There's
So during COVID, like
Yeah.
a bunch of stores closed their bathrooms down.
Uh-huh.
Like that helps COVID. Like
Yeah.
You have a kid-
Everything helped COVID.
who's like going to
Closing
pee
at
their
6
pants or
p.m.
crap their pants. Like I have
Yeah.
my kids at CVS, and they still, to this day, that same CVS, they have never opened their bathroom back up. They use the excuse of COVID, and they still
Yeah.
have it. Man, I want to pull an Elton John of them so bad. Next time I ask, is the bathroom back open? No, but they're just like, all right, go right here. You got a bottle? Just dump out a Gatorade bottle and just fill it up right
Jeez.
there or something. I'm like actually.
There's been a lot of
Angry about
peeing in
that.
bottle stories on this show so far.
There has
Somebody
been.
on a
It's a big
flight.
year.
Somebody on a flight did that. I feel like there was at least another.
Oh yeah.
one
And The
more.
Rock. We had The Rock.
Oh
peed in
yeah,
a
the
bottle.
Rock peed in a
The
bottle.
Boss water bottles.
Celebrities are peeing in bottles.
Hmm.
Well, Elton John's wiener isn't the only thing that's been on the loose in public. A kangaroo was captured after half a year on the loose in Germany. A kangaroo that escaped from its owner on New Year's Eve has been captured 6 months later, 50 miles away. That sounds like a very drunken New Year's Eve. If you got so drunk, you lost your kangaroo. The kangaroo named Skippy evaded capture for months, and police and what was that?
Kangaroo.
Oh, I looked.
That's how you say it in German. Kangaroo.
I looked that up already.
Oh.
And it looked exactly the same.
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
You say it a little bit with an Asian accent.
I know it sounds very Asian.
Yeah.
Kangaroo.
Sorry,
Does a
go
little
ahead. Kangaroo.
The kangaroo named Skippy evaded capture for months, and police informed locals there was no danger from the shy plant eater. Apparently, they've never seen those videos. Some kangaroos, do you ever see those videos from Australia where the kangaroo is like jacked?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, fights
I
people.
love that video when the guy just punches it.
Yeah,
it's like
and
really
they box
baffled
each
by
other.
it.
There's one where it's got a dog in a headlock, and the guy has to rescue his dog. But this one was apparently a shy plant eater. A man in Ludensdorf finally caught Skippy this week and is keeping him in a horse pen until the owner can come retrieve him. Which He's just got a kangaroo hopping around his horse. Can you imagine going to Germany and not knowing there was a kangaroo on the loose, and you just see
Right,
a
yeah, what
kangaroo roaming across Germany?
It's like the darkest, not episode, but I guess Kangaroo Jack movie when he's just bouncing around historical Germany.
Yeah. I imagine them telling the kangaroo, like, when they capture, like you're going home, and it's like Australia, no, the other German guy's house where you live. Just taking him from German house to German house.
He lives in Germany. He's a kangaroo German pet. How did he get it there? I guess on a plane. He snuck it in.
Yeah.
Snuck it in some like German chocolate cake or something. I don't know. Hey, thanks for watching this show. We love having you guys watch this show. It means a ton to us, and the people that comment.
It does. We love the comments.
We love the comments.
We love all of our viewers.
We read all the comments.
We do. We were
4 times each.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of our favorites. A favorite comment from the YouTube channel and a favorite podcast review. It's harder to pick from YouTube. There's a lot more comments. But so we got one, a little shout out to Matt. If you hear the guy laughing in the background, I hear it. Early Bird 4262 said, Cackling Patty's understudy was brilliant.
Oh, it's a reference to Patrick also.
Yeah, also to Patrick, who we miss. We love Patrick.
Yeah. And our featured Apple podcast review, they are back. And then the name says something along the lines of, I guess my nickname was taken. This person wrote, I've missed the humor of Ethan and Adam. This podcast filled that void. They are always entertaining.
Well, not always.
Most of the time.
You should see us at the restaurant before we come here.
When we just sit
there
quietly staring
at our laptops and writing notes.
With a loud TV behind us.
It's really loud there.
Yeah. And we've had one guest so far. We had Kira on a couple weeks ago, and next week Trevor will be here.
Yeah, Trevor Anderson. You may know him from the Babylon Bee podcast. We had him on regularly. He's also a stand-up comedian guy and a recent. Well, he's not that recent now. I always think of him as a recent dad, but is he a second? Does he have 2 kids now, or what? I don't even know what he's got. He's growing up on me. That's what's happening.
He just keeps popping them out.
Yeah, he lives in San Diego, so I never get to see him. So he's coming up. And we're going to get to have him here, and we're excited. So next week, Trevor's coming. So please, like the show if you haven't. Subscribe. You can check out our website, talkdown.com, if you want to become like join downtime at the end and check out the subscriber portion. Reviews and comments help us a ton. We're new, and we just got monetized. Also, that's exciting for us too this week.
We'll be able to afford a Chipotle burrito with the money we make off this podcast.
That's right. And can help fund Adam's didgeridoo lessons.
No, I already paid for it. It's a video.
It's just one video?
Yeah. Anyone can do it. It's easy.
You can get like a guru guy that teaches you like the legend,
the
real ways. You can learn to do that and tube and throat singing. You ever do tube and throat singing?
Tube and throat.
I can't do it.
What is that?
Have you heard of that? It's like, no, I can't do it because it. I can't do it. I like choke today.
So many of the impressions and voices and things you say you're going to do are just that same sound.
No, that's different. Didgeridoo's like
you're always like, here's a new one, and then you do that.
No, didgeridoo's like, and then the two and then he's like,
different. How long did it take? How many lessons did you have to? You sound like your dog. You're hacking like your dog.
There's like a whole movie.
Your family's gonna have you both put down. So.
They sing. Like, it sounds so cool when you hear about it because they're these like monks that sing like through. It's called tube and throat singing. So they're singing way in their throat, and then like it captures this like other tones start to hit. So it sounds like
I think
noises.
I have heard that. Yeah.
You're like, oh, that must sound so cool, and you hear it. It sounds like a Muppet being strangled and like mic feedback.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, sorry, I'm insulting an entire culture. I've insulted like
beautiful if you do it right.
If you do it right, it's just like I've never heard. I don't think it's ever been recorded, but yeah. Project 2025. Is it 2025?
I think it's Project 2025
like
because the Dems are really trying to say this is Trump's evil plan.
Project 2025. This is the thing. Apparently, in fact, so we actually got this segment sent to us by Frank J. Fleming, our man on the ground. We've been hearing a lot about Project 2025. I think it's time to get to the bottom of it. So it's kind of a sweeping set of far-right goals that have been set to be implemented under the second Trump administration, put together by the Heritage Foundation, that far-right.
And it's the Heritage Foundation came up with this sort of political policy plan.
Like, we should do this.
Like this is what they would like to see conservatives do. And now I think the Democrats and the media are saying this is Trump's plan and this is how he's going to change it into a Christian theocracy and an autocratic government.
Well, I think they're trying to kind of secretly make it a thing only for the right, but so far only the left has been hearing about it. And lately, I'll be the guy on the right and you be the guy on the left, or you want to be which one you want to be?
I want to do whichever one doesn't have to yell or do an impression.
Okay, you just be a normal guy asking about Joe Biden.
Hey, did you see how Biden was stammering and lost
Project 2025, Project 2025! We have to work out, we have to!
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to do that part.
So Project 2025 is so radical, the left has raised Trump's threat level to Hitler times 3.
He was already Hitler.
He's up there, yeah. So we're going to look at what exactly is in Project 2025. Frank Fleming, he got this list for us. It is quite radical, warning to children at home. Let's just dive in.
This is what Frank's reporting is in the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 plan. This is all real. He wouldn't make it up. It would just be a waste of our time.
Exactly. There will be harsher taxes there will be a harsh tax on being poor.
Yeah, these are the points here. That's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is all dogs will be classified as boys and cats as girls.
Wow, that's extremely binary. It will be added to the Constitution that a hot dog is a sandwich. Which I
could agree with that.
We are right wingers, so some of this is going to sing with us.
Yeah, that's really what I've been pushing for.
Hot dog
that's the thing I've wanted to see this country, affirm in the Constitution for a long time. This next point's interesting. Children will be given nunchucks at school.
I'm pro safety and self defense. I think that's probably good.
The only way to stop a bad guy with a nunchuck is a good guy with a nunchuck.
Yeah, a school full of kids with nunchucks is much more safe than a school full of kids without nunchucks.
Yeah, definitely.
We will declare war on Canada, but not tell them, and we'll just kind of stare at them angrily, but not tell them why.
The next point, a corporate sponsor will get to rename Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is kind of a crappy state name. Sorry.
It'll be the U.S. Bank state.
Yeah, it'll be named what Dave's Hot Chicken or something.
Yeah.
The LGBTQ acronym is going to be replaced simply with the word gay.
Oh, that's good. I just want to say gay again.
They gotta stop because it's already moved on to I don't know, where is it now? Do you know where it is now?
It's LGBTQAIIP plus, I believe.
What's the P? There's a P. I never knew there's a P.
I'm trying to. Is it polyamorous? I think
or
polyamorous, pansexual, maybe.
Pansexual.
Yeah,
that seems like the most greedy one.
Yeah. Here, I do not like this next point. More and even angrier pit bulls. That's not something we need. Maybe I'll vote for Biden now that
I'm starting to lean Biden.
2025.
I don't care if he crapped his pants.
Yeah.
Women will no longer get to vote in elections, but in exchange, they will get 2 votes on American Idol. So it's a good trade. They probably care more. I don't know.
California will be walled off and declared a biohazard.
That's probably needed.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is going to be contracted to begin building a Death Star.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think you'd do a good, nice, clean energy Death Star.
Juggling will be made illegal.
I'm pro that.
Fine.
I don't like those things where everybody acts like someone stares at you like they're doing amazing things when they do it.
Or I feel like juggling should be legal, but only beyond a certain level of impressiveness, not when it's just the balls. You got to have some fire or some
and they should be
chainsaws
humble. Just don't act like you're so cool.
In there, yeah.
Taco Tuesdays will be outlawed for being too ethnic. We still get tacos? I don't know. I wanted to know more about that one.
Well, I'm curious whether tacos will be considered a sandwich or not.
Nah, that's a good point.
People over 80 will get a senior discount, even though that's not very old.
True. You can run a country if you're 80,
People are living longer these days.
Everyone gets a coupon for 50% off of an AR-15.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pride Month will be replaced with the 80s themed Greed Month.
80s themed Greed? Is that like Dabney Coleman? Or
I don't know what 80s themed
Trump
Greed is.
I feel like Trump is 80s themed Greed, like the
I don't
or like Uncle
disrespect
Scrooge McDuck or something. And tax cuts. I think that's the scariest part of all this.
They just don't like
they're really
cuts.
Being sneaky and putting in the thing nobody wants because we all know what it really means.
Yeah. And luckily, Trump's going to be a dictator on day one, according to the
Of
left.
course.
So he's going to push all this stuff through with his iron fist.
I know, like that's the thing that's cracking me up right now. Like there's these like unhinged tweets.
Oh, they lose their minds more and more.
And it's like about how you don't even realize what's going to happen the day Trump is president. I'm like, did we not live through 4 years of Trump being president already?
Yes, and they get crazy. Rachel Maddow said she's
was being
afraid Trump
sneaky.
is going to round her up and put her in a camp. And it's like these people, and just more and more of, I get they're panicking and they're going hysterical because all of these scams and lies they've tried to push for 4 years are all blowing up in their face. But they never have any self-awareness of, oh, maybe they lied to us about all this. Maybe we should calm down. It's just they double down on all their craziness.
Right.
And they just come up with more and more Trump's going to be Hitler nonsense.
And like the best argument for me right now for just not voting for Trump,
I'd like to hear this because I don't think there is any, but
is that it's not how crazy I think he'll be now. Cause like that was originally when when Trump first got nominated, I was so annoyed by it and offended by it as a conservative.
What?
That I actually left the Republican Party.
You mean in 2016?
I became an independent the very
2020?
first time. First time.
It
was such a shock.
So I was a never Trumper in 2016. I didn't vote for him then because he was, his personality. I
didn't vote for him then either.
And I also didn't know whether he'd govern as a conservative.
Yeah, I thought he'd be crazy.
And then he won me over. I was like, oh, he's a great president. I think there was a lot of never Trumpers,
totally.
like myself, and I was like, oh, he was fantastic, and I can't wait for him to be president again.
My biggest concern was that he would be kind of a nut job and not, I was afraid to see how crazy he would get. And what I found out was that he isn't that crazy.
No, and he's
not.
a deal maker.
He likes to
make
make
deals. He likes to get stuff done.
And things were pretty good under him.
Yeah.
But I've never seen the left go so crazy. Like it's actually scary.
He really did break their brains.
It's terrible. I mean, like
they just
like what has already happened? Like what will it ramp up to? Like,
and it was so weird working in Hollywood on that day he was elected because it felt like going to work the next day. The atmosphere was like 9/11 or like a funeral. And it was so bizarre to me because I've been conservative.
I wish I'd worked on a Hollywood show that day.
I've been conservative my entire adult life. I lived in New York City for 3 years, and then I moved to LA, and I lived out here at the time. It was for 10 years. No politician I have ever voted for in my adult life has won. Every person I've ever voted for has lost, and I've always gone to work and lived my life the next day and be like, my guy didn't win. I guess I'll go back and whatever. And them, it was like, it was like the end of the world that their Hillary person that was supposed to be coronated and given the presidency didn't win.
I know my buddy Doug Tenaple, he would tell it much better, but he always talks about when George W. Bush beat Kerry, John Kerry, and he was working at Nickelodeon as a showrunner on Cat Scratch at the time, and he had a full-size cardboard cutout of George Bush that he kept in his office at Nickelodeon.
I had all this.
He couldn't even get a job. I don't know how he pulled that off.
I had all this Trump stuff in my office with Ellen. Yeah, I had a Trump Shia pet,
and he said people were just lining the hallways crying. Like he said, it was just like. You wouldn't imagine it. Like
they were like
insane.
Traumatized, like children. But it was insane.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I mean, I'm obviously going to vote for him, but
and now, I mean, they obviously have to be scared because of this dastardly Project 2025 that we've just exposed.
It'd be interesting, like if he wins. Yeah, exactly. And if he wins again, it's going to be interesting to juxtapose, like like all those clips of news anchors realizing he won.
Yeah,
like that's some of the greatest YouTube ever.
And that lady question mark in the green jacket going, no.
Yeah.
Just
the reactions
screaming
of
at
him
the
now.
Sky at his inauguration.
So like now happening a second time.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wild times to live in.
Yep.
All right, we're going to do a little change of gears here.
And thanks, Frank Fleming.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
that's from Frank. Yeah.
You can check out his Substack, which is a thing.
That's from Frank's Substack. You go to substack.com/@Frank J. Fleming. We'll put the link in the show notes if you want to. Frank sends out these things all the time, and he's hilarious. And close your ears for a second. He was the best writer of the Babylon Bee. All right, mini segment 1. That's who I wrote this on the notes on here.
Yep.
This is a story that I'm just fascinated by, and I don't know if you've heard it. I'm sure it's been around a while on the internet, but I just recently heard it. It's a Reddit from a Reddit called Glitch in the Matrix.
Okay.
Like when something crazy and weird happens.
Something in real life happens and you can't figure out how or why that happened.
So this is called The Story of the Lamp.
Okay, I have not heard this.
Yeah, so this guy So yeah, your virgin ears will take it in. So this guy, he posted this on Reddit, and he basically never wanted to talk about it again, but he felt like he needed to get it off his chest. The story starts, my last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. He was 325 pounds. I was 120 pounds. So, so then he goes on, he didn't go on to play football. He explains that after that experience, I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months, dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately she bore me a daughter. I had a great job. My wife didn't have to work outside of the house. When my daughter was 2, my wife, bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I'd walk into his room every morning before I left for work and doted on him and my daughter. So one day while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd. So he's looking at his lamp, and it just looks like it's pointing a different direction, like the perspectives were off. Looked like it's inverted. It was still in 3D, but just something was wrong about it. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Something was just not right about that lamp. So then he goes on to say he stopped eating. He'd only leave the couch to go to the bathroom at first. Soon he stopped.
Just 'cause the lamp looked weird?
He couldn't stop. Something about the lamp just transfixed me. He couldn't stop looking at it. My mouth's drying out. He stared at that effing lamp for 3 days straight before his wife got so worried she had someone come and try to talk to him. By this time, his cognizance was breaking up. His wife was freaking out. So she took the kids to her mother's house, and just before that, he had an epiphany that the lamp was not real. And then he started to realize the house isn't real, and that his wife and his kids, and none of it was real. And so basically, he woke up. He realized that he had lived 10 years of life. He woke up in that moment of having been clobbered by the football player. And
so he was like put in a coma?
He's basically in a coma. Yeah.
And he imagined this whole life?
Yes.
Holy cow.
So the lamp started to grow wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions and stuff like that. I always said he started becoming aware of all this insane pain. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth." And then he opened his eyes, and he was laying on his back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that he didn't know, freaking out. And he was completely confused. Wow. He said a cop scooped him up, dragged him, walked him across the sidewalk, and threw him in the back of a cop car, still confused, and is taken to the hospital. So he claims that he lived this 10 years in his own mind, going through marriage and births of his 2 kids, and waking up to realize that all happened for just the moments that he was knocked on the ground. And he says, he just talked, in the post, he talks a bit more about it, but how hard it has been for him to accept that his family's not gone. Like he sees ghost images of the child.
Wow. It's crazy.
He says he went about 3 years of horrid depression. He says grieving the loss of his wife and children, dealing with the knowledge that they never existed, scared he was going insane. He said he'd cry himself to sleep, hoping he could see his wife in his dreams, and he never has. But he said sometimes he sees his son, usually just a glimpse out of his peripheral vision. He's perpetually 5 years old, and I can never hear what he's saying.
Wow.
So I don't know. That's just one of those, like, I don't even know what to do with that story.
Yeah. There's a Star Trek Next Generation episode similar to this.
Maybe he stole it from that.
I wonder how old this story is. There's an episode.
It's pretty old now. I think it's been around for a while.
I don't know if it's old enough that they would have based Star Trek on it, but yeah, there's an episode called The Inner Light where this alien probe like zaps Picard, and he passes out on the ship for 45 minutes, and they're trying to revive him. But in his mind, he lives this whole other life on a planet as a farmer and inventor with his wife, and they have a family. And then he just wakes up like 45 minutes later on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Man.
So maybe this guy stole it from Star Trek is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it is the internet, so I mean, you can do with it what you want.
Are there other cases of people having these sorts of like I've heard of people hallucinating or like waking up from it's interesting because he was only out for a short period of time.
Right.
I've heard of people being in comas for years and then waking up. But I wonder if there are other people who have had similar experiences where they have this extended experience, of days or weeks or years.
I assume it could happen. I mean, I've had dreams that like I know, but I can't. I can remember the impact of my dreams more often than I remember the actual dreams. So I know that I've woken up feeling like I lost something. Like there's something. Was about something was going to happen, or also relieved that like I know I've had dreams where I killed somebody, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I I didn't mean to. I don't know what happened. I'm just like, and also you wake up and like,
That's
it
I
takes
relate
you forever to remember that you didn't do it.
I relate to the first part because I always have great dreams. Then you wake up and you're like, oh, this again.
yeah. Back to this.
Back to this. I guess it's another day of this
I've had
garbage.
those too. Yeah. Anyway, so tell us your stories. If you're, what do you think of the story? You think it's a crock of hooey, or you think it's real? Anyway, just one of those ones I found interesting.
That's
And
very,
that's
very interesting.
this
yeah.
podcast is for, whatever we find interesting.
Mm.
All right, so me and Adam went to the movies once again to get a little preview.
Somehow got
What's
to
coming
see a
down the
movie
pike?
that's not out yet.
Yep, they let us in to a special viewing of Venom,
The Last Dance.
So I was expecting the last Venom to be like a musical with all that dancing.
They haven't done a dance.
Yeah, it's like
spectacular in the Spider-Man world before.
right. They did a little bit in Spider-Man 3, that one part, but yeah, this is like a whole.
This was all dancing.
guys and
pretty
dolls
much,
kind of performance.
And it's one dance. It's the last dance, and it's just a nonstop dance for the whole. It's a 3.5 hour movie, I think.
Yeah, it's a full-on dance number.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, if you like dancing, and then if you like Tom Hardy doing a really bad Brooklyn accent,
Yeah.
half the time, and the other half the time,
And a lot of venomous snakes. They really play up the venom aspect.
Yeah.
There's
and they like to really point out that like they think it's really cool if you switch the letters around in Venom, it says moving. So stupid.
yeah.
They did not deserve that much of a laugh. So anyway, yeah, Venom. I thought we were spoiled to have one Venom movie, not let alone a third one.
Yeah.
So
Our Venom cup run.
I
is
can't wait
over.
for my kid to want to watch this and be like, really?
Kids love a 3-hour musical.
And they love Venom.
Yeah.
My son just obsessed. It's one of those ideas that never worked, right? Except for this movie's great. But like Alien versus Predator.
I never saw the other Venom movie.
Like there was always this concept floating in the ether, Alien versus Predator. Like it'd be so cool to combine those. And then they tried I feel like they've tried it. Like it never is
Wait, what does it have to do with Alien versus?
So
Predator?
then Venom as well is like a concept that like I felt like growing up, everyone's like, oh, Venom is so cool. A Venom movie would be so cool.
Yeah.
But every time Venom's been tried on screen,
It gets weird.
it's
and
lame. It
messed
just
up,
doesn't
yeah.
work. I don't know. Except for this movie, is it?
He works
fantastic.
as a cartoon character.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe things from our childhood weren't meant to be grown-up adult movies sometimes.
Possible.
All right. Well, thanks to everyone who joined us this week.
Remember, next week we have Trevor Anderson joining.
Yes,
us.
Trevor Anderson's coming.
Comedian and writer
look forward to-
extraordinaire.
Did you say Canadian?
I said comedian.
Oh, comedian,
and writer. And I still think I said Inside Out, but I don't
We
know.
got to go back to the tapes.
I
on
may
that
be
one.
wrong. But
In the comments, let us know if he said In and Out or Inside Out.
no, don't. It'll bother me.
Yeah, then you question everything you say. Like you're a
Yeah.
stand-up comedian, you wonder like how many things you got wrong while on stage.
Well, yeah.
That's the worst.
No, I get everything right when I'm on stage.
Perfect. Yeah. Do you watch videos of yourself constantly?
What's that?
Do you watch videos of yourself constantly?
I only watch
it's part of your
videos-
job. You
I
gotta-
only watch videos of myself if I have to you have to submit videos of yourself for certain other gigs or for festivals or for TV shows. So if it was a good set, but I don't watch every single performance, but yeah, I watch myself back sometimes. It used to bother me more than it does now.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I watch us and then I go, man, Adam must watch himself more because I need to watch myself more and watch my
Wait,
enunciation.
Why do you think I watch myself more?
No, just that like you control you act more like a guy who knows.
That I'm
You're
aware
being
of, that I'm
watched.
aware of the camera.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of the eye.
Yeah, you're more aware of the camera.
You ever watch?
You're a
Full Eye?
professional.
See, the thing that
I'm
does
trying to
bother me
compliment
though
you.
with the In and Out thing, whether I said In and Out or Inside Out, the thing that does bother me is when people the way I say Mario, people make fun of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's
you don't like that?
No, because I say it
That's how-
normal. I say it normal. And this is the thing that pisses me off about it.
I guess that's kind of true.
No, I've watched a video about it. The way I say it is right. First of all, it's the way he says in the video game. Secondly, when I watch these videos where people are like, "Oh, I say Mario and you say Mario," and it's this minutia.
Tomato.
It's minutia. It's not even as big a difference as tomato. And I never in my life, I've played that game since I was like 6 years old.
It's a
I've lived
Mario.
in Pennsylvania. I've lived in New York. I've lived in California. Never until I said it on the Babylon Bee podcast one time, never anywhere has anyone ever gone, oh, yeah, say the word right. And now in this audience, there's something about these people in this audience. They go, oh, yeah, say the word right. And I don't care.
Nerds.
I don't care. And the thing is I hear other people say words slightly differently. It doesn't bother me. I just let it go. There's no Super Mario Brothers.
Wait a minute.
I watched that.
Sonos, it's the Super Mario Brothers.
Mario. It's in
Mario.
between. It's in between.
So that's if there's actually a whole video about the linguistics of it. And because it's an Italian name,
Mario.
because it's an Italian name, the Italian is split between saying Mario and Mario.
Mario. And so you just go all the way to Mario.
I don't. That's not what I say. That's not what I'm so sorry I brought this up. Let's just end the episode. I'm done with this. I'm done with this.
Is this a Pennsylvania thing?
No, it's not. Lots of people say it that way. And all of England says it the way I say it.
No,
All of England, the UK.
my wife is from Pennsylvania and she doesn't say Mario, but there's certain words she
so
says
similar.
slightly
Like,
different
I
and she gets
barely
very
hear the
touchy like
difference.
you.
Because here's the thing. I don't think it's that different. And also, every now and then, there's people who say, what was it? There was some word I heard someone mispronounce recently. I can't even think of what it was. The word, the word caveat?
Mm.
I heard someone say caveat.
Caveat.
Yes. But
That's
I guess
like what you've been reading the word your whole life.
But guess what? I let it go. I didn't write in the code, "Dad, you said this word wrong. I can't enjoy your whole podcast because you said a vowel sound different. You said a word different than the way I say it."
Okay, but caveat,
People
that's
are
pretty
awful.
bad.
It is, and even that. But I even let that extreme example go.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, you say a short A slightly different."
But do you
than
think
I say
they're
a short A?
They're mistaken, right?
Yes, I think they're wrong.
You're not mistaken. You're just choosing to die on this hill.
No, because it's the way he says in the show opening.
Kind of.
It's the way he says it in the video game. And
He
if
talks
you
in the
watch,
video
when he goes, "It's a me, Mario."
Okay. Well, you just said Mario.
I said Mario.
Oh,
That's what he says. I don't even understand the difference that you're making with your mouth.
I don't know.
But
I
there's a-
honestly,
but
I
there's
don't
a-
care about this
but
at
there's
all.
a
I love how
linguistic-
passionate
But there's
you
a
are.
linguistics video where a guy investigated it
Okay.
because he got annoyed because people were telling him. And
So you're with this guy.
I preserve, this is the people who say it the way I say it in English, preserve the vowel quality.
Mm-hmm.
The people who go Mario or whatever, they preserve the vowel length from the Italian.
Mm.
But the Italian is in between the two.
Mm.
So no one is more right than another person, except that I am preserving the correct vowel quality.
Okay. All right. I'm glad we got this solved.
That's
We
the
all know
mini-
what's the-
That's my mini segment.
If I ever want to
today.
step on a landmine with Adam.
That's my mini segment for today.
Matt McDavid, thanks for all the heavy lifting and the laughter in the background. And Frank Fleming throwing in our segment today that exposed the 2025 plan.
Yes, everybody knows it now.
Yeah, and then Trevor Anderson coming next week. Thanks to our contributors on Discord, our editors, Daniel States, Johnny Tutz, Don Van Skypen. I can't remember. She told me how to say it and I forgot. And Bard. And of course, Austin Robertson, the voice of the Talk Down.
And to listeners like you who somehow managed to find the time to listen to yet another podcast.
We're moving on to the downtime. We are going to tell our stories. We're going to be talking about getting almost arrested
Yeah.
by you
for
digging a dumpster.
diving.
And me hanging out with Lisa Simpson. So here we go.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
And
Isn't that what Jerry,
didgeridoo.
isn't that what
great
Jerry
things.
Springer used to say?
Who?
I think Jerry Springer used to say, "Take care of yourselves and each other."
Jerry Springer did?
After all the fights, because he would always have a Jerry's final word.
Oh, right.
And he would try to make some meaningful message
Don't
out
make
of
it
all
mean.
the weird chaos that
Like-
just happened on his show.
Like Bill Maher does his final little thing
Yeah.
every night. Yeah. Huh. Goodbye.
The Talk Down is filmed in a dark room in front of a couple of fake plants. For more information or to become a subscriber, go to thetalkdown.com.